When you're at sea, there is no one else to blame.
Well, g'day Adam, we're in Cape Town. I want to get behind Adam. I want to get inside you to try and get your feelings.
You'd be the first one.
Yeah. Anyway, so at some point you made the decision to do the MGR, okay?
Yeah.
And then you had to build the boat, and then you had to get the boat to the start line.
Yeah.
Don't tell me how you built the boat and the challenges of getting the start line. Just try and show me or explain the emotional journey, the excitement, the depression, the self-doubt, anything like that at all, from decision put to the start.
So it took a big leap of faith to press the button to buy the timber to start the project. That was a lot of humming and hawing. So that was a big moment. And I think once that had happened, to me, there was no doubt that I would get to the start. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was going to find a way, and I'm pretty stubborn, and I did find a way, and we did get to the start. So I think the emotional side was the decision to get going on it. Yeah, lots of ups and downs during the build, lots of doubting why I'm doing it. You know, some friends and family were hugely positive and supportive. Some were not quite so, and you know, a little bit of self-doubt came in, but pushed through and got to the start. So yeah, that was a big day for me getting to Portugal with the boat.
Yeah. So now we're in Cape Town. Your family and friends would have had an opinion or a feeling or an emotion themselves about what you were doing and probably expressed it to you. Have you noticed a change now that you're actually here and sort of headed on the last leg from their perspective, you know?
Yeah, not really. I'm very careful to not get ahead of myself. It still really doesn't feel like a job 3/4 done. It feels like a job hardly even half done. You really want to finish this. That for me is, the further you go, the more you want to finish, and the more those last 6,000 miles feels like 60,000 miles. So
yeah.
I'm not allowing myself to have conversations with people, with myself, with my family about anything else other than the next passage, and that's to St. Helena. So yeah, we're a long way off Antigua.
Okay, so you're not a young man, you're not an old man either. You've been around for a while. You've done quite a few different things. Where does the Mini Globe Race rate in amongst all that? And how does it make you feel? Like, do you feel proud, or you feel, you know, oh yeah, ho hum, or are you leaving it for later, or what?
Yeah, I think I am leaving it for later. Occasionally, I sort of realise that this little boat's come a long way, and I get quite emotional about the thought of that. But I try and box it away because, for the reasons I've said, you know, there's still a lot to do. So I'm starting to get some sense of achievement, but equally, you know, as we all know, anything can happen. If it so happens that I don't make it past St. Helena, then okay, it'll be terribly disappointing, but I'll still be able to look back, as the other guys who've retired have been able to look back and say, well, hey, it's been a hell of a journey, and take some credit for that. So yeah, still a long way to go.
Okay, I think it's fair to say you're so far into this. Do you think it's changed you already, you know, as a person? And if so, in what ways? You know, do you look at life differently?
Yeah, I think so. I think it has changed me. I think just having to deal with all the issues that the 11 of us now have to deal with in terms of each different person's personality. We live very closely together, so dealing with that, and I think just having that sense that when you're at sea, there is no one else to blame. It is all you, and I think we're very susceptible to finding an excuse, finding something else as to why the boat's not going faster, or why you dropped something overboard, or why you broke a rib, or whatever it is. the buck really does stop with you, and I think that's maybe has, I don't know whether it's changed me, but it's made me realize that you know, you are the master of your own destiny, and there's nothing like being on an ocean on your own in a small sailboat to remind you of that.
So do you think this is, you know, during your life, is this one of the biggest things you've ever done, or one of the most memorable, or, you know, how does it rate on the scheme of things for your life so far?
It's got to be at the top. I have done some quite adventurous things over the years, but this definitely is at the top in terms of the endurance factor and the learning and all aspects of it. So yeah, it's not right up there. It is at the top.
And what about your emotional connection to the Emma Dawson Foundation? You know, like how did that, you know, sort of come about? Was it?
I think, as I said before, it's a real binary relationship. So they help me and I help them. It's a young charity, and therefore you really feel more inspired by trying to help, because there's clearly been such a demand for the services they offer in the 2 years that they've been running, that the more that I can do and the Mini Globe Race can do in terms of promoting the Dawson Foundation, then the better. So yeah, it's been a real help to me supporting them along the way.
Okay, finally, your emotions now, you know, preparing the boat for the last leg up the Atlantic and so on, and the finish is, you know, on your doorstep. You know, how do you feel right now?
It's just the same as before. You know, I'm cleaning the boat right now. I've done a lot of sail repairs in Cape Town. I've re-sealed my windows. I've done lots of maintenance, just the same as I would do wherever I was. And I know it's a bit boring for me to say it again, but just the same, you know, it's another passage. It's another 2,000 odd mile passage. It's going to be 2.5, maybe 3 weeks at sea. Just do the same thing as you've done before, and that worked. Whatever I've been doing so far has worked. So I'm not changing the ingredients, and let's look forward to St. Helena.
Okay, so you're still having fun then?
Still having fun.
Okay, well done. Thanks, mate.
Cheers.